So Thomas, are you going to apologize to Tito and his algorithm?
What did I say about his algorithm?
I don't know. You had a lot of things to say about your duper previously.
Yeah, as long as Tito is willing to commit to getting in the back end, fixing some of my matches, so I can get my duper up, yeah, I'll reserve the criticism for later.
He's probably got the golden key. He could probably give you a couple extra points in
Yeah,
your
for
rec
I
sure.
mean,
games.
I mean, why do you think Zen is where he's at right now, right?
Tito,
We've been friends for a while.
I'm literally we've been friends for a while, but dude. I'm literally at 6.66 right now. People are saying I'm the pickleball player from hell.
I don't know, guys. If you're nice, you may see a jump after the podcast. Let's see how you behave.
All right. Pickleball isn't just about the game, it's about how you play it. And how you play depends a lot on what you're playing with. Enter Warstick. Experts in winning gear have stepped up to the pickleball plate with show-stealing pickleball equipment. They've got paddles that speak volumes with every swing, gloves that grip success, and bags that are spacious, stylish, and scream quality. No matter your level, Warstick's got something that fits your game and style perfectly. I've said this before. I think Warstick has some of the best branding in pickleball. If you don't believe me, just go to their website, check out some of the paddles, some of the coolest designs that are out there. Gear up at warstick.com and use promo code DINK, all caps DINK, for 10% off all their pickleball products. Again, use promo code DINK for 10% off. With Warstick, it's not just the weapon, it's the warrior. WARSTIC.com. Code DINK for 10% off.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had gonna
Oh, and we're live.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Tommy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, graduate. Got your GED this weekend. That's no. So you graduated from UT School of Business MBA program, right?
Macomb School of Business.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Good. Do I seem smarter to you?
No comment. Let's move on to the next thing on the. But so nice. What was your? Do you have a focus in your MBA or any of that stuff?
No. It's just a general MBA.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, at the same time, it feels like it took forever. It also feels like I started the program just yesterday.
So you that was basically what brought you to Austin, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, it was a culmination of things, right? I had traveled through here when we were in the Dink Sprinter van going across the country. It was like, okay, Austin's cool. Obviously, it was becoming a pickleball hub. And so I applied to the program, got in, was like, all right, let's make the move. And the rest was history. So,
So you're gonna stick around here afterwards?
yeah.
Nice. You
I got a podcast to film, dude.
Absolutely. Do you have a Dink HQ yet?
We are working on it. In fact, we have some interesting conversations coming up about that. But as of now, no. Everybody's remote. We actually have like two. There's another pickleball facility I probably can't talk too much about that has offered us office space. So there's two that are currently offering us office space. So I think that would be cool. And if that happens, we'd build a studio in at least one of them.
Damn. Sweet.
So we could go, have a true studio, dressed up. We'll get some signage, make it look all cool,
Love it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with all your free time now?
Well, the problem is I don't have an excuse now, right? Like, it was a phenomenal experience. It's like I compare it to if you have your first child. You can always fall back on, well, I got to take care of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I got stuff for school, golden excuse. Now that's gone. So I'm going to have to come up with something new and more original.
You might just have a child just for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be onto something. I like that.
There we go. An excuse, baby.
But who knows? Maybe I'll play more pickleball.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to start back up with hoops. So
Okay.
play basketball a little more now.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you could play less pickleball. You
That's
play like
correct.
what, once a week, if that?
No, not even. Yeah, once a month.
Okay. Yeah, you need to play more pickleball, dude.
it's tough. But I have more time now, so we'll see what happens.
There you go. Until you have that child.
All right, nobody watched this show for me and what I'm doing. This is the Zane show.
I don't know about that.
Tell me, what was main takeaways from Major League Pickleball? What'd you think?
There's a lot going on over there. We had a lot of new stuff. Obviously, it's been 6 months basically since we've had a Major League Pickleball. The last one was in December, right, of last year.
Did it feel good to be back?
Felt good to be back. The intensity was definitely there.
It was there.
I thought it was there.
That was going to be one of my first questions.
At least from the players, right? I didn't see anybody out there that looked like they were just going through the motions. Everybody had more emotion than they might normally in a given match. It seemed like, right?
Right.
But there was a lot of shit talk. There were snapped paddles, blue cards, orange cards.
Can you stop taking my notes, please?
What? Okay, go ahead. What do you want? You want to go through these one by one or what?
No.
You're asking me the questions.
But it seemed like. Do you think though? Let's say we're toward the end of the year. It's another weekend where, sure, points matter, but there's no trophy on the line or compensation on the line. Do you think the buzz kind of wears off and it's less important with each sort of like regular season event?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, right? The first event of every season is always like one of the most hyped because everybody is with their brand new teams. You want to see who's gelling well. You get to see like, oh, we thought this team was going to be good, but they're actually bad, and vice versa. So, the good news is we still do have a chance to see there were 5 teams that were sitting out of the action, 2 in Premier and 3 in Challenger. There are 5 teams that we get to see how they stack up for the first time. But yeah, I think that's a concern that the regular season matches can start to get boring, I suppose.
Yeah.
But didn't feel that way here. Even though it didn't feel like we weren't playing for a ring at the end of this weekend, it still felt like the intensity was there.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
it was tough that a lot of the matches weren't streamed. That was a common complaint.
Yeah, that was brutal. I think the first match on each court every day was not streamed, which is kind of ridiculous to me. Like you're flying in, you're paying all of these players an exorbitant amount of money to be there, yet you're not going to pay the production crew for an extra 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Like just the decision making there seems strange, unless there's something that we don't know about that. But like pay the guys the extra 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like you've already sunk all of this money getting all of the pro players there. You might as well get the content out of it.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't.
What I was hearing was that they paid production for 8 hours a day or something like that, and so they were going 10 to whatever that was.
Strictly a cost decision?
I don't know. I mean, I heard it through the grapevine. I have no idea whether that's true or not.
Well, we ended up streaming, I think, 3 different matches.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like you just had somebody with a phone there streaming it?
No, full production crew, instant replay, everything. For 3 of the different matches.
Oh, was that the college thing?
No, on our YouTube, Major League Pickleball, dog.
Hold on.
You should have tuned in.
How does that even work? I had no idea this was the case.
Yeah, we were.
So was our first match on Saturday, the Fives versus the Arizona team, was that streamed to the Dink?
I don't know. Admittedly, I was very offline this weekend with my graduation, with family, with friends and stuff. So I actually don't know which matches we streamed. But there were at least 3, possibly 4. And we had streamed like 2 of the exhibition matches leading up.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, hey, and Major League Pickleball, we can do it again. We can help you guys.
There we go. Well, I was
Happy
going to
to.
ask you, if you were to have watched any of it, I would ask you if you missed the freeze.
Yeah, I'm more so just going to regurgitate the opinions of others. But I actually always thought the freeze was dumb. It completely changes the dynamic of the game toward the back half. It kind of leaves it up to, I don't know, anything where it creates a dynamic where there's more of like a toss-up where like anybody could win. To me, feels kind of dumb. That's why I think the Dream Breaker is a little bit gimmicky. And now there's issues with that and the points. I'm sure you have some qualms with where you guys are in the standings. I'd actually like to hear your perspective on that.
Do you think I'm that nitpicky?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Fair, yeah, I am. Yeah, so the interesting thing is Major League Pickleball got rid of the freeze for this season so far. I feel like all these things are pretty subject to change, but in previous years, you had to win on your serve. So it was 1 game to 21, and you had to win on your serve. They got rid of so basically, if you're at 24 points and your opponent side outs you, they get a point. You side out your opponent, you're again serving at 24. So it created this situation where one team can score and the other team can't, which theoretically means that one team could win the match with somewhat significantly less points. I think from a player perspective, I would say probably every player prefers the new way of. Maybe I won't say that across. I would say it's very strongly that the players prefer this new way because it's
No freeze.
No freeze.
Yeah.
Don't have to win on your serve because it's just like it makes more sense competitively. The team who wins 25 points, win by 2, wins. You don't have that situation where somebody can artificially come back.
Right.
So as a player with my fives hat on, I'm like, yeah, this makes the most sense from a play standpoint. As a fan, as somebody who does watch a decent amount of these when I'm not playing, bring back the freeze.
Yeah.
Like, make this stuff closer. We've got to make... Pickleball is still in the phase where we need to figure out if anybody's going to watch this.
Right.
Let's make it as entertaining to watch as possible. Like, we can argue about all the other rules until the cows come home, but, like, if nobody's watching, doesn't matter. So I think we got to make this viewer friendly. I say bring back the freeze.
Shout out to Wisconsin with that reference.
You don't have cows in Michigan?
Idiom. Not as many as Wisconsin. I assume.
Damn right.
I think. I don't know. Not really up. Not really up to speed on the number of cows per state.
California is number 1. They overtook us. Nobody likes California cows, though.
Nobody likes California.
Fair.
Except we love California, just so our California listeners don't tune out.
Nobody here in Texas likes California.
That's true, and nobody in California likes Texas. Actually, they're all moving to Texas, so that's part of the reason why Texans don't like Californians.
The Californians who don't like Californians move to Texas to not be liked by Texans.
Yeah.
It's basically how it goes.
They're changing Austin, especially if you ask. Nah, never mind. Won't throw anybody under the bus.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Throw somebody under the bus.
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're talking about the freeze. Yeah, so I think like the freeze definitely makes for some of the best moments in Major League Pickleball. I think, if I'm correct, that was a brainchild of Steve Kuhn, and Steve Kuhn will, rant all day long about how things like the freeze make, from a spectator standpoint, pickleball more interesting, more exciting, makes the bed for these like really cool, like fun, compelling moments at the end of a game or match. So I totally get that. So from that perspective, I would say, yeah, if it's gonna make watching pickleball more exciting, then bring back the freeze. If I were a player, just like you said, I would not like the freeze, especially if I'm winning.
Yeah.
Right?
Hashtag free the freeze. Let's start the movement.
What was the other big rule change?
There were, they've
here.
had matches to 25 instead of 21. But the other big rule change that was news to us basically as we arrived and started speaking to referees was the serve rule. So PPA went one way, where you need to drop the ball from the waist height and you cannot toss the ball up. MLP got rid of the height of contact completely. So if you can physically do this at MLP, you can make contact eyeball height so long as you are swinging in an upward direction at the point of contact. The top part of your paddle is below the level of your wrist. And yeah, that's it.
Was there a noticeable difference?
Not yet, because nobody knew this was how the rule was going to be
prep.
until we got there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, I mean, the noticeable thing was Dekel was able to go after his serve again, right? And like, people were going after the serves, but not everybody has been serving from their waist. It feels weird to all of a sudden be like hitting serves on 1 day notice from your shoulder. I think people are going to like understand that and practice it. I scoured the rules beforehand, and I had some good takeaways, and that was not written in the rules that they've removed the height of contact rule. Right. So for the next time around, like, people are going to have have things that they're going to do as a result of it.
Right.
But I will say, like, I've gotten on here and I've defended serving and weaponizing the serve. It's rough with this ball. I actually think that we do need to rein it in until the ball bounces right. Like, there were highlight clips of 2 points in a row where Anna and Kate Fahey basically like whiffed on dinks because the ball is just not bouncing. There's serves that are bouncing over people's heads and under people's paddles. Like, people are whiffing returns. And the faster you hit this ball and with more spin, the more the problems are exacerbated. So I am probably one of the leading proponents of weaponize the serve, as long as you know where it's actually going to bounce. Right? Like, so I think we probably need to rein it in on the serve until the ball bounces right.
Yeah, I would say, like, the combination of one of these Gen 3 paddles being able to serve with a high contact point and the way this ball moves, it could make for some very frustrating situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Fix the ball, and then let's serve from our shoulders. That's cool with me.
Yeah.
But we got to fix the ball first.
The ball is being fixed. I have it on very good authority, and so I think they're going to start testing the new version of it here soon. And yeah, so they've definitely acted and tried to improve the ball because they heard the complaints. How could you not?
Yeah, they've seen the complaints.
Yeah. What about playing against some of these paddles? Was it noticeable this weekend?
I mean, I'm accustomed to it at this point. Like, these paddles have been in the players' hands for, probably since February.
Yeah.
Is when they first sort of started coming out. So it's not like it's anything different. Yeah, it's a different type of game that you can play with those paddles. But I have no new updates for that compared to when we talked about this with Travis, 8 days ago or whatever that was. Which, by the way, freaking awesome episode.
Yeah,
that was one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, it was. It got a lot of good feedback, a lot of great moments. We'll make Travis a recurring guest.
Agreed. He's on the list.
He's very solid. Yeah.
So that was the main rule change, but
so what do you think about the point system?
Point system's interesting. I think it makes sense. So basically what happens now is if you win, there's a couple different outcomes. You can win without a dream breaker. If you do that, it's like a win in regulation. You get 3 points towards your standings.
Yep.
If you win in a dream breaker, you get 2. If you lose in a dream breaker, you get 1. If you lose in regulation, you get 0. It's kind of similar to NHL, right? I think it's the exact same format as NHL. You get 3 for...
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I think that you can't really look at the standings, though. The standings don't mean a lot on their own because St. Louis Shock has 12 points, right? They played 5 matches. We have 6 points. We played 3 matches. So, I mean, I think the MLP just needs to put on there, like, how many games played they've played. And then that makes it...
Got it. Okay.
Make a little bit more sense.
So then the Fives being undefeated but 5th in points just looks worse. And if you don't clarify that, it's just also less number of games played.
Yeah, I think you just need, all I think they need on this standings graphic is how many games played. But Ben Padula from Real Clear Stats actually basically fixed this. He created a points per match. So basically the way that the MLP published the standings, and it goes St. Louis Shock, DC Pickleball, Dallas Flash, Texas Ranchers, Jersey Fives, Mad Drops, Sliders, Drive, Squeeze, and Hustlers. But some teams played as many as 5, some teams played as few as 3. Ben just normalized this with a points per match calculation. So St. Louis Shock are in number 1 with 2.4 points per match. Jersey Fives and DC are at 2, followed by Dallas, Texas, LA, Orlando, Columbus, Arizona, and New York. So Real Clear Stats is a better way of actually looking at these standings, in my opinion.
Right. I do think it would be cool, like, to have the continuity across these different events, especially in the second half of the season, as different teams will look to, make runs and try and move up in the standings. They'll have to play more aggressive, take risks. So I think over time, this way of formatting these events is interesting. But I do think, like, in the next one, probably in the next few, the lack of importance around each weekend, I think it's going to make people care less, players care less. And I don't know, there's just something different, obviously, about every MLP event, like, really mattering, right? Where somebody gets a trophy.
Yeah, I wonder if you could do some sort of hybrid of both, right? Like, you've got each tournament weekend counts towards your standing for the rest of the year. And you could have a winner of each weekend, but that also counts towards your, like, year-end playoff run or something.
I mean, that's kind of what they did, right? Last year. It's just that they didn't really...
It was for the super final.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The super final. I just don't think they marketed it correctly.
Right.
But that's kind of what they did.
Yeah.
But the super final, remember, kind of ended up like, it almost was like people cared less.
Because it was on Monday.
Yeah, and then they put it on Monday.
Yeah.
What other, any other, like, big takeaways for you?
We've got the team put down some notes here. Let's see. Anna Bright balled out with Kate Fahey. She's got that dog. That's what she sort of stole the weekend there. People did not have super high expectations for the Shock with Anna, Kate Fahey, Gabe, and Hayden. But Gabe and Hayden balled out. Gaden. They balled out. Anna balled out. Kate Fahey surprised a lot of people. Played well. That's a high growth team right there. So, let's see. Oh, we have an illegal substance on a paddle.
Really?
Yeah. So MLP released a statement. A paddle failed testing at MLP Atlanta due to a foreign substance detected before the paddle was used in any matches. MLP does not believe this is related to a manufacturing defect. MLP will further analyze the paddle to learn as much information as possible. The MLP team and player have been notified.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it leads me to believe, I don't know how, like, people who have exposed carbon fiber paddles, I don't know how a foreign substance would help them, right? Like, I'm thinking about like just something sticky that you put on your paddle, I guess. Kind of like baseball pitchers that make their fingers stickier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that would help with raw carbon fiber, or also something that would stick to your paddle but not make the ball all sticky, right? Like, the referee picks up the ball, like, why is this ball all sticky? Well, you'd get kind of caught that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, I know you're not allowed to put hairspray on paddles because somebody did that a long time ago, and that's why the referees, like, put their fingers on the paddle. I don't know what sort of foreign substance would help on a pickleball paddle.
Yeah. So you have no idea what this is in reference to?
I mean, I've heard rumors, but I don't.
Hit me with a rumor.
I have heard rumors that it is on a non-carbon fiber paddle.
And what is it?
Oh, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus because these are unsubstantiated.
But what's the
rumors.
substance?
I heard the rumor was pine tar. Like, I can't imagine somebody's putting pine tar on their paddle. Pine tar is the baseball thing that people are putting on their hands.
Yeah, pitchers.
Yeah.
Right.
To basically like have the ball stick to their fingers more, which increases the spin rate. The idea on a pickleball paddle would be the ball would stick to the paddle longer, also increasing your spin rate.
Right. I didn't hear anything about that. Is that on the sheet here?
Yeah, it was. I put it down. It was from Maddie Pickles, bro. You were in the text message. You just ghosted him.
Dude. Couldn't keep up.
Maddie Pickles. So there's that. We got Rowdy with the Hustlers.
Yeah. What was up? I heard it ended up boiling over into the parking lot.
That you're gonna have to tell me that. Like I don't know anything about something boiling over into the parking lot. All I know is it's a fun little rivalry across all sports. New York and New Jersey's like love to hate each other.
Right.
So they had some pretty epic matches last year.
But this is just, you got to bring this stuff to the surface.
Oh,
this
I agree.
Makes us all much more interested.
100%.
Right?
No, I'm with it. So they had a great match last year, and now Leia was on the Fives in the first half of last year. She's on the Hustlers now, right? So she's switched teams, and yeah, I mean, like our GM Ryan is basically our fifth man. He is just loud and pumped up on the sidelines. He also gets our fans loud and pumped up. And, you know, some people don't like that.
Yeah.
Some people don't care for that.
All right, I'll read the fan story.
Okay. What's the source of this fan story?
Sorry, Leia. Leia's going to get mad at us again, but we'll just go ahead and read through this one.
I would like to preface, I do not know where this came from. Don't kill me.
Yeah, neither do I.
Why are you looking? I don't know where this came from. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, okay.
I hadn't seen this before.
Mm-hmm. Leia, Zane, put this down.
Oh, give me a break.
When the Hustlers match was over, they walked inside the clubhouse area, all sitting at one table. There's a public bathroom that's right outside the area. As I was waiting in line, I heard Jack Sock say, "I wanted to punch him." They don't know who he's referring to. They think Will Howells.
No, it was probably Ryan.
Or Ryan, yeah, probably Ryan. Yeah.
It was probably Ryan.
Especially when you read the rest of this. I wanted to punch him in the face, and Leia Jansen yelled, yeah, that should be fined. So it was in reference to something that happened in the match prior. Continuing. Now, I'm not 100% sure who he was talking to. My first guess was the Fives fans because they were going hard against them. But now I'm thinking it was about Will Howells because he kept clapping when Jack Sock fell and did that slide into the bench area, messing up his hand. And then I don't know where the rest. So, okay. And then the rest of this is, and I'm not sure if this is from the same match, but okay. So she told the Fives to shut the F up during the match. She was parked 3 spots away from them, and she started up with them in the parking lot and said that the Fives manager is an a-hole and why are they even here? Do they even have jobs? And yells out of the window as she's driving away, "You guys are probably single."
She's probably not wrong in any of those regards. Honestly, like if I wasn't on the Fives, like, yeah, that would annoy me. Like she's probably got every right to be pissed off, and you know, Ryan's probably got every right to piss her off. So I think it's a good little rivalry.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We need more of it.
I think we need more of that. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we would have a lot to talk about if somebody did punch somebody. We almost had that last time. Like remember De La Rosa and Spencer Smith? They almost gave it to us.
Yeah, but wasn't it Spencer Smith's girlfriend who knocked Spencer over, but in the camera it looked like De La Rosa like pushed him.
I don't remember, something like that.
And then somebody was like, "Get your trash girlfriend out of here."
Yikes.
Which is awesome. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, our boy Travis threw a paddle, smashed a paddle. Dekel, of all people, it always seems like the people you would least expect get the blue cards.
Well, did he see what Dekel got a blue card for?
Yeah, he threw the. I mean, that's justified, right? Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but in the NBA, if you throw the basketball out, like, into the stands, you know, you're getting a technical or a whatever.
Fair,
right?
Fair. Let's cancel Dekel.
Yeah, I mean, Dekel, he honestly has a bad attitude. Like, he's kind of a jerk.
That was some Final Destination type of stuff. Do you see that? Like, there was a winner, and the ball was like rolling around, and it rolled right under Dekel's foot as he was walking, and he like rolled his ankle a little bit. Obviously crushed the ball because Dekel's a giant, and so the ball was worthless. It's not like he was just getting a good ball out of there, if there is such a thing as. Anyway, I digress. But he just picks it up and launches it 100 feet into the stands. It was great.
Yeah.
Which one is a blue card a warning? I think
Yeah,
blue card's a warning.
Card is like,
can we just fucking do
you're
yellow
outta
and
here.
red? Like, just give me a break. I know it's MLP colors, but I can't keep this straight.
it does sound dumb, like the blue and orange card. Like, it just.
Just give him a yellow card, a red card. Give him a technical. Come on, give him something that we know, like an ejection, a warning to the benches. Give us something that we know. I think. So here's my take. I think if you get overruled on a challenge, there should be a power play, like hockey, where you got to go 1-on-2 against the other team, or you got to call in a sub. I'm just gonna leave that here. I don't need a comment from you, but commenters, people at home, leave us a comment. Do we need power plays in pickleball? Like, I think you should be able to go paddles on the ground, gloves off. You know, throw a couple punches or whatever. You sit a couple, make the other two dudes play a few singles points while you sit it out in the penalty box. Come on.
And by the way, Trop did text me after the last. He was like, "Thanks for the shout out. I am just absolutely slammed at work." I was like, "That's what I said." All right. Well, we'll save the Travis and KOTC back and forth, which was spurred from his comments on the episode he joined us for. Because we're gonna bring on Tito from DUPR here in a moment. But last thing I wanted to get your reaction to was Ben John's making $2.5 million in salary.
Yeah, that's first off, good for him. Congrats.
Not including sponsorship deals, not including endorsements, not including the other, investments he has.
Yeah, I just don't know why. Like, people normally keep that stuff pretty tight. Like, is it a flex or what? I mean,
well, CNBC I guess reached out to him and interviewed him, and he had said that.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, why he said that, right? Like, that's only going to probably piss off. Obviously, he's the GOAT, right? But it's only going to piss off other players that think they're up and coming or whatever. Connor, Tom, Steve, whoever, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I like what I'm making. But I think it's just a strange thing that he would disclose that to me. Mm-hmm. But honestly, good for him. Like, I think maybe the thought process is if I say I'm making $2.5 million per year, it brings legitimacy to this sport. Like, oh wow, okay, this is a real athlete. Like, so there's I suppose reasons on both sides. It felt a little strange to me, but I think it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows, and
for sure,
whatever we got to do to make people interested in pickleball, let's get it.
Yeah, I think it's good marketing. Makes people who are kind of on the outside looking in say, maybe I should make the transition to pickleball. It's like, okay, there's some real money here. I think if we're being realistic, that's going to normalize. I mean, maybe not Ben, but these inflated salaries are going to come back down to earth. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the tour wars are the reason these contract values are so high. And UPA is going to end up making cuts after these contracts are up for sure.
100%. All right. Well, I actually don't know the Travis versus Tyler drama other than what Travis said on the podcast last week.
We just called out Tyler for being a bad line caller. And then
I don't know about the rest of it. So I'm excited to talk about that after we have Tito on.
Yeah. Well, because I think there's going to be more to that, and then we can walk through all of it because I think it's actively happening right now on like Instagram stories.
All right. Let's get Tito on here.
All right. I think we all know Theragun by Therabody. Deep, powerful massage in a simple, easy-to-use design. They make the little travel guns now. We've got the more standard one, the big one here. Super popular at the pickleball courts. I think my dad has like 7 of them. But you can also get the travel version to throw in your backpack. Refresh and repair your body with Theragun Prime, our powerful 16mm percussive massage therapy device made simple for active lifestyles. Engineered, listen to this, Zane, engineered to prioritize only the essentials. I thought I was going to say not only the essentials. Only the essentials, featuring our scientifically proven deep muscle massage in a simple, durable design to provide fast, effective relief from aches and pains, accelerate recovery, reduce tightness, and improve circulation. Pair with the Therabody app to follow easy step-by-step routines so you can show up every day ready to take on a new challenge. We ran a survey. 33% of pickleball players that read the Dink newsletter actually use massage guns for recovery, performance optimization, all that good stuff. All right, Tito.
Do it.
Welcome to the Pickle Pod. Have you been on the show before?
Never. First time.
Welcome.
How does it feel? Do you feel like you made it?
This is it, man. I've actually been avoiding this for a while, and so yeah. No, it's exciting, guys. Thank you for having me.
You can't hide from us forever.
For those who don't know, Tito is the CEO of DUPR. So, Tito, how long have you been the CEO? It's been just over a year, 2 years now?
No, actually a little less. I've been the CEO since October of last year. And before that, I was running as, head of operations, president / wearing many hats kind of guy. Because, we were part of MLP. So there was already a CEO and MLP, right? So it was a little confusing. So I was head of operations, but running the show. And that was since April of 2023, actually. Before that, I was working for Jill when she was CEO as head of commercial.
Right.
That feels like a lifetime ago. I thought you were gonna. Yeah, that's crazy. So you've been at this position for just over a year, but obviously been involved with DUPR for a while now. A couple years then.
2 years. I actually left and came back, which is really wild. Yeah. But 2 years and yeah, I think January of 2022 was when I started in pickleball, which it feels like 10 years ago for sure.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to out you if the answer is no, but do you play a lot of pickleball? Like, are you a gamer?
Yeah. I used to play way more.
Same.
I think I'm a 5-0 right now, 4'9". I play tennis, but play tennis in college, play tennis all my life, and I love it. But unfortunately, we're a little busy these days.
Yeah, right.
I usually on MLP events, I used to play quite a bit and get my DUPR up. But yeah.
Yeah, I always say this, like the dirty secret of the pickleball industry is once you start working in pickleball, you pretty much stop playing pickleball.
For sure. I agree.
It's a sad reality.
I miss it, man, for sure.
So, Thomas, are you going to apologize to Tito and his algorithm?
What did I say about his algorithm?
I don't know. You had a lot of things to say about your DUPR previously.
Yeah, as long as Tito is willing to commit to getting in the back end, fixing some of my matches, so I can get my DUPR up, I'll reserve the criticism for later.
He's probably got the golden key. He could probably give you a couple extra points.
Yeah,
in your rec games.
What do you think Zane is where he's at right now? Right?
Tito,
we've been friends for a while.
I'm literally we've been friends for a while, dude. I'm literally at 6.66 right now. People are saying I'm the pickleball player from hell.
I actually looked at your rating before this. I looked at your rating before this, but yeah, I don't know, guys. If you're nice, you might see a jump after the podcast. Let's see how you behave.
All right. I like that. That's
Noted.
good incentive.
Okay.
Yeah, the last tournament I played in, only my losses were recorded. I know that's not a DUPR issue. That's the guys who organized the tournament, but that doesn't help either. So if we can't get it up, I'm going to do what you actually let me onto and create fake profiles like the Easter Bunny and Jesus and Donald Trump, and just enter a bunch of fake matches to get my DUPR up.
Hey man, we have a fair play committee now that we look at everything weekly. So yeah, we are not gonna, that's impossible now. We're looking at literally every match. I have like a team that just looks at matches that look fake. And so try, but we have the police now, the DUPR Police.
That is funny because I think probably like once a month somebody submits some match like that they played against me and Ben Johns, and I'm sure
Really?
Ben gets it a million times more.
Yeah,
like
for
we
sure.
played you guys to 15-13 in the 5th set. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that those aren't counting.
Well, I didn't
No,
make up those names either. The Easter Bunny, I think you said Jesus was one. There were a few more like ridiculous names of fake accounts that were in there.
Yeah, we had some people trying to play the system, but we're, as I said, we're on top of it. People think that they can outsmart us, but those names, come on now. But we look at location, age, who are you playing, and if you're a 3-5 and you're playing a reg game against Zane, I don't know if it's allowing you to put some matches, and you're going to the third game with Zane, 11-9. We look at those scores and we make a decision that this matches should be deleted right away.
Got it. All right. We'll have to come up with a different strategy then. Maybe I should just win more matches. What do you think about that?
No, I think you should look for an easier way. I think you should look for the shortcuts.
Tito, what's the status of DUPR these days? Obviously, there was the question coming into the merger of where DUPR fell into all that, but what's the how does the ownership work? I know you guys just raised a bunch of capital, but what's the latest?
Yeah, so we had an independent group come in led by David Cass, who is he's also involved he's the owner of the Columbus Sliders, and we had some other big names like the Rain Group. We had Andre Agassi, which is my childhood idol,
right?
Coming in and being part of this group. So we are completely independent to the group that was running us in the past, and the status of DUPR honestly is better than ever and better every day. We've been working on many different things. We brought the teams in-house. We brought a lot of talent, and we're growing by leaps and bounds. We have we're growing at 20% monthly active users right now from a month-to-month basis. So we're at our prime right now. Everything less chaos, way less political, because we are not associated to any entities. DUPR is on its own. So we get to be agnostic and we get to play ball with everyone. So It's good times in DUPR.
So if you're growing 20% in users month over month, that means you're doubling every 3 months or so?
We've been these last couple of months have been absolutely insane. We're bringing around 200 new clubs into the platform month over month. So every time we bring a club, we're activating their database, right? We're getting all of the players at the club level to get a DUPR account and start playing on reg play, open play, and so on. So we've been very, very focused on activating from clubs to champions in the community. And when we say champions, is the local guy that at your park that is always looking for people to put the scores on DUPR, and just groups in general. So we had an account management team that is always hunting for everyone who is running organized play around the country and the world.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned you want to play ball with everybody. You want to be agnostic. What's your take on essentially like the two factions emerging? This to me is like Tour Wars 2.0, but now everybody has a team. So these organizations are on a team. So on one side, you have USA Pickleball, the APP, UTR. They just announced like a software partner. They have Pickleball Superstore as their retailer, I think they have an equity stake in Pickleball Superstore. The APP does. And then on the other side, you have the UPA, MLP and PPA, you guys, DUPR, apparently. And maybe you'll shed some light on that. They've got pickleball brackets and pickleball tournaments as the software. And then, Pickleball Central as their retailer. And it seems like, especially given like the APP's recent announcement and some of these developments, that it's like two factions that are going head to head for the future of pickleball, Tour Wars 2.0.
Listen, as I said, one of the great things that has happened after we spun off of the MLP is that we are our own organization, right? We used to be MLP's sibling. Now we're on our own, and we get to work with everyone. And we've been trying, to, and we're still looking forward to hopefully working with USA Pickleball, even UTR, anyone who is coming into the space. We want to play ball, right? At the end of the day, I think fractioning the sport, it's not doing any good to anyone, and we've seen that the last 2 years, which the merger, the non-merger, everything that was happening, it was confusing, and people didn't know what was going on and who to support. We want DUPR to just be the number that represents a player's level, and that's the way we're looking at this. Obviously, we are now working with UPA, which is very exciting for us. We are the rating of MLP, the rating of pickleball brackets, and all of the entities there. But that doesn't mean that we cannot work with anyone else. Actually, we work with 50 other API partners. These are other platforms like Call Reserve, Play by Point, you name it, that are doing events in the space. We're already integrated with them. Mm-hmm. So I think DUPR is the one group that has proven that they're ready to work with anyone and help the sport grow, right? 3,000 clubs, right? We are in 150 countries right now. We're truly, agnostic and working with everyone. And again, it's impossible not to say that the deal with UPA is massive for us, because they obviously run the Pro Tours, MLP, and the biggest technology platform in pickleball. So, hey, massive win for us with that partnership for sure.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand why, like, a USA Pickleball who's supposed to be agnostic and work with everyone is announcing these exclusive partnerships. It seems counterintuitive. When we did that panel in Miami with PPA, APP, MLP, and USA Pickleball, we had Mike Neely up there. The conversation was about everybody working with everybody. And Worcester had a great point about how part of tennis's struggle was the multiple governing bodies all trying to be number one, and the sport is too split, and that stunts its growth. And everyone was in agreement that pickleball needs to avoid those pitfalls, and yet there's these announcements back to back to back about this organization being the exclusive, X of this organization.
Yeah, listen, I think there is a little bit of legacy issues still in place, right? Not everything is going to be solved right away. I think, the MLP PPA merger was obviously a massive, breakthrough in the sport in regards to union, right? And showing the union. And I think we just need to keep working on it. The goal here let's face it, pickleball is exciting. It's new. Everyone wants to get into it. Everyone wants to own a piece of it, right? And it's going to take a little bit for everyone to kind of realize that for the sake and the good of the sport, we better work together. I agree with the exclusivity, right? I think in many ways, people have felt like they have to go into one side or the other. And hopefully over time, we're able to change that notion and understand that, hey, there is enough room for everyone to play. Everyone should help each other. And I always mess this quote up, but high tides raise all boats, right? That's, if we all play together, we can grow. And I think, hey, that's what we're trying to be the common denominator here, which is DUPR, the rating that is more adopted in the world. And I think hopefully we can be that balance in the space.
Right. Yeah. Everybody gets that quote wrong, just for the record.
What is the quote? Did you
Rising
look it up
tide
on your
lifts all ships.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
But everybody has some like different variation of it.
It's the same idea.
Mine might be a little off too.
Actually, I mean, I'm very proud of the way I said mine. With my accent, I was overthinking that quote for before saying it. So hey, it came through nicely.
There we go. Yeah. We got the sentiment. So you mentioned globally, like, are there countries, like which other countries outside of the States are embracing pickleball from a numbers perspective, right? Like, where else is pickleball really growing quickly? Like, we know it's across the entire world, but like, are there some certain hot spots?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, in the US, we've grown in the last 90 days at 20%, but countries like Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, we're about the 30th, right? We are like getting to 33%, 42% in the United Kingdom. We're seeing massive growth in China. We've been working in China for almost a year now. We're part of all of their tours and tournaments, and actually we're launching a college tour there shortly, which is very exciting.
A Chinese college tour?
Yes. We're looking into creating a little bit of a qualifier from Chinese college players that win their national championship in China to come and maybe play in the US. So we're seeing all of this very exciting play all over the country. Obviously, Asia is as a continent is the one that we're seeing more countries pop, right? Because of their love for racket sports, love for badminton, love for tennis, ping pong, etc. But we have South Africa, for example, we have a crazy stat. We've grown 121% in South Africa in the last 90 days.
Damn.
So this is just, the great thing that we've had at DUPR is that, we've kind of been at the birth of pickleball in all of these countries. So we've seen it from the beginning. When there were 5 people in Uruguay playing pickleball, we activated them on DUPR, gave them a ranking, gave them a rating, and we've seen these communities grow and grow and grow through what we do with all of these champions, as I called them before, in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Any countries that would surprise us? We talked about this a little bit with Tom Webb, but yeah, what are you guys seeing? Any countries that jump out like, oh, that's pretty interesting. That's unexpected.
I mean, listen, Malaysia is, we have 110% growth in the last 90 days. And then we ran our first national championship in Venezuela, where we're seeing massive growth. We actually work with a group called La Cocina, who are very involved in Latam. And, we have Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan. So, yeah, as I said, it's, honestly, right now, it's every day we have an inbound from someone in a country telling us that they want to start a program. And again, that's very exciting for us, because for many of these players and communities, DUPR is the first step. DUPR is the way to get into pickleball, which, it's been a lot of work to get there for sure.
Mm-hmm. What about youth numbers? What are we seeing?
So, we're seeing, in terms of the platform, the platform is getting younger and younger and younger with the numbers, right? We are, 47% of our users are below 49 years old. And we're seeing a trend of younger and younger users. I mean, the other big thing that we have in DUPR is our college tour, right?
Yeah.
So that has grown so much and evolved so much. So I think that keeps bringing the number down, and we're seeing a lot of juniors play. We're seeing high school programs coming to the platform. We're seeing junior championships. So it's very exciting, because you never see the sport, right, go from seniors to juniors. It's always a little bit of the opposite, right? And yeah, it's the age is actually, I think the age is going down monthly. Mm-hmm. While still keeping our legacy players engaged within the platform and in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you had to guess, Tito, how long before pickleball is a varsity high school sport or a NCAA sanctioned sport?
I think we're going to get into high school earlier. To be honest, I think we are, I think we have around 50 programs already, high school programs in the platform that are starting to build. And we're starting to see high school coaches be a thing where they're creating these programs. I think with college and NCAA, right, it's going to take a little more. There is the Title IX. There is a lot of, it's very difficult right now to get into that space. So I would say that by 2025, 2020, I would say 2025, we're going to start seeing some of the first high school associations getting together and building actual leagues, which is very exciting. State championships and so on. I mean, we're going to help them. We're already trying to get them all together and organizing them. So I think with our help, we're going to get there a little faster. And college, I think we're looking at around 2026, 2027. I think if we keep making
it's
this
not too far off.
It's not. But, we're making noise. We're definitely making noise when it comes to college, and, all of the campuses building tennis courts. We have college clubs with, 200 kids being part of the program. So, yeah, I mean, pickleball is a reality in college campuses now. So it cannot be ignored.
For sure. Well, we've said it before on the podcast, but if you are starting a college club is an unbelievable thing. Like, it's a great resume builder too. So if you have anybody out there that's listening that wants to finally listen to this and start a college club, DM me. I'll put you in touch with my guy from UW Whitewater, who really helped a bunch of people start their clubs. Ben from UW Whitewater, a little school that I went to, created a club. It's got over 200 members. He crushes it, and he was he's pretty involved with you guys as well, Tito. He did a lot of work with the college national championships as well. Dude is a stud. So
no, yeah. For sure. Hey, we are giving the power to the college club presidents and everyone who is wanting to help. We have an internship program within DUPR where we actually, we have so many employees at DUPR right now that actually came from our college program. And we're giving them that growth because they're so excited. At 21, when I was in college, I would have never organized a 200 player club practices, go to tournaments, raise some fundraising. Like, it's amazing. So we're seeing definitely some very talented youth here putting efforts together to build this, and this is why this is so exciting. It's not DUPR doing it; it's the community together with DUPR creating something very special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exciting. Well, speaking of which, what's going on with DUPR Dink Minor Leagues? What's up with that? Where's that? Where do I sign up for the first one?
So we have we have 150 events booked for this year. I think we're going to end up having more than 400 events by end of the year, which is very exciting. This started last year. I think Steve, when he was here, right, he mentioned minor leagues and the growth of minor leagues. It kind of exploded because we've been able to bring this team setting to the local communities, and people have a blast, right? Mm-hmm. Our national championship last year was amazing in Southern California, and we wanted to partner with the Dink to take this to the next level. Just make sure that players, rec players get their piece of the pie here. People are able to play the format, be social, qualify for a national championship, and we truly believe that this is going to be the biggest amateur tour in the country very shortly.
Mm-hmm. So are the DUPR minor leagues following the same, DUPR and Dink minor leagues following the same sort of format that they were before, where you can sign up with people for what used to be called the DUPR 14, where your combined DUPR is 14, 16, 18, 20, 22? Like, how are these sort of subdivided out?
Yeah, it's exactly the same format. We have people of all ages and all levels playing together. So this is the magic thing, right? We've seen teams with a player who is 67 years old with a player who is 15 years old, right? So we create this ecosystem it's not signing up with your friend who you always play with. Sometimes you are trying to create teams who are available, right? People are making T-shirts, are creating an actual team here and showing for one of those divisions. So, we have some players who are, in between levels. So sometimes they play, DUPR 18, sometimes they play DUPR 16. But it doesn't really matter if you are within those levels, right? If the team, the addition of the team DUPRs goes to 14, you're able to participate and get a ticket to play nationals. That's the other great thing that we've done here, right? We've created a local, regional, and national pathway. So for those of those players who just want to play local and just want to have fun, they have access to minor leagues. But for those who want to get that team into a national championship, they also can do it, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So where does somebody sign up for one of these?
Yeah, so we'll put the link in the show notes. So I mean, if you have an active community in your area and there's no minor leagues, you can go to this link, sign up, and you can create one. Like in an instant, you just got to find the weekend for you to actually run the tournament. And then you'll be, once it's sanctioned, eligible to work your way into regionals and then play for the national championship.
Oh, so anybody can just sort of like create their own, and then there's sort of some sort of sanctioning process?
Yeah, for sure. And like if you are, if you're in whatever city and there's no minor league, if you're the one who reaches out and sets up the club, you're the person who runs it. You can make money on that. You collect the registration fees, and you basically, you run a tournament and you operate that league. And then you can work your way into regionals and nationals if you're good enough.
Yeah, no, listen, I think, we've given the power to the people to run their own MLP format leagues locally, right? And build up pathways. And this is why this is so exciting. A little bit like college. This is truly grassroots. From the people to the people, and then we organize the big party, the nationals and the regionals, and we work with amazing directors, tournament directors across the country to offer this amazing experience. But yeah, anyone can run it. Go on the link, and we'll guide you through the whole process, even if it's your first time. But every community should be having a minor league event. So let us know. We're excited to host you guys.
Yeah,
I will say, once you start playing team-based events, you won't go back.
Right.
The energy is just next level.
Yeah, for sure. Say it like that again.
Tifosi.
Do you know what? One more time.
Tifosi.
You know what that means? Tell
the
people what that means.
So, tifosi is the Italian word for superfan, and that is exactly who they make their eyewear for.
And all this talk about the crazy paddles,
Yeah.
eyewear, more important than ever.
I think yours is they're probably slightly better suited than mine.
Yours are for
Mine
styling
look
around.
great. I'm about to go to Italy on my honeymoon, and you're not getting these back.
Me,
Tifosi.
I feel like maybe I'm either blind or the Terminator, but on the court, I think these are exactly what you would need. Do you think that if these paddles don't slow down a little bit, that eyewear is just going to be like, you got to wear eyewear? Like, what if they get even faster? This is a total tangent.
Oh boy, if they get faster, we're in trouble. I mean, you can already tell like how many more people are wearing eyewear now compared to last year. Like I think Anna Lee was like the only one who was wearing eyewear last year, and now like probably at least a third of the tour is. So yeah, it's gonna be I could almost see it being like the helmet in football. Like it could be required at the pro game at some point.
Well, Tifosi Glide technology allows the frame to slide on comfortably and provide an anti-bounce fit. Is that anti-bounce? Did I say that right? With an integral hinge ensuring these sunglasses slide on without pulling your hair, which is an issue for you, obviously.
Nah,
Crafted.
My hair, look, your hair is all like flowy and
You've got like a fade going.
it's not going to pull against a fade. It would pull against that.
Yeah, correct. Crafted from shatterproof polycarbonate, these lenses not only reduce glare, but also offer scratch resistance, ensuring unparalleled eye protection. Hydrophilic rubber nose pads that increase grip the more you sweat, so glasses will stay secure during even the most intense activities. Now that is where it would benefit you a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
TifosiOptics.com. That's TIFOSI optics.com. All caps Dink 20%. 20% off. It is live now. Go to TifosiOptics.com and get your eyewear because the paddles are getting faster. You don't want to lose an eyeball.
So I'm stealing these.
They're yours, dude.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet. Thank you, Tifosi. Let's go. I'm wearing these on the honeymoon.
So going back to the kind of like growth of, I guess, the younger generation. So just some stats. I think you said, what, 47% of users are below 49? And then
So
20% of users between 20 and 29, which I think would be surprising to most people.
Correct. So 47 below 49. So I think that the key stat is that 60% of our new users are below the age of 49, and then we have 20% of those new users are between 20 and 29. So again, this age group of 20 and 29 is the fastest growing group within DUPR and Pickleball right now.
Mm-hmm. 250 college programs, which is crazy to me. I wonder what that number was like 2 years ago. Like nothing.
2 years ago, 50 maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be. Well, I mean, Tito might know, but I would be incredibly surprised if it was 50.
So no. So we had Zane, I don't know if you remember this, but we had our first national championship at Dreamland. I think it was it was November of 2022. And I think we had 20 schools participating in that program,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like amazed, that how many kids showed up. It was probably one of the best events. Honestly, the best energy I've ever seen in an event in my life was that first event. I remember we had that center court on Dreamland, Steve Kuth throwing pizzas around, kids shouting and yelling, and actually calling Chick, right? That was his first ever pickleball tournament, won it, and then he went to play pro pickleball. So since then, we had around 40 to 50 programs, and that first event is when we started really seeing the snowball process, right? People saw what is possible, how to create it. We built a whole college team whose job is onboard these teams, help them, get them resources, scholarships, everything else. So yeah, it's completely exploded, and now we have we have campus events where actually these teams are able to run their own events, and then we have regionals and national. We have a whole tour for the 250 programs that are around the country.
Yeah. It's cool too, because you guys are releasing rankings of not just the college teams, but like the individual players themselves. Not surprisingly, on men's singles, you have Jack Foster and Jack Monroe at the top of the leaderboard. And then I think in doubles, it goes Jack Monroe, Jack Foster. In singles, it goes Jack Foster, Jack Monroe. But I have an issue, okay? I have an issue with this. Should these guys who are clearly established pros be able to compete at the college level?
Yeah, no, 100%. I believe that, if you're able, the great thing about the way we're putting these programs is that you're able to have your A team, B team, C team, D team, everyone can participate. This is for everyone. But if you're a college player, why wouldn't you, right? I mean, there is no NCAA national championship right now. You have your school pride, right? You want to be part of your teammates. You want to live this experience. Why not have it? I think, we have some teen pros right now that are going to be going to schools here in the next 2 years. Why miss that experience of being a college athlete? I was a college athlete, and I was a bad one, but it was the best experience of my life. I think this is amazing. I think they are going to help grow these programs as well, right? They're going to be help funding. They're going to help brands get into helping the teams. So the more faces that we can get to support this, the better. So I think that, if you're a college player, you should have a chance to participate in these programs.
Disagree.
I'm on Tito's side. Tito's side. What's the reason why a college can't get paid? We're already taking this out.
So let's look at men's doubles, right? So top 10 players. Jack Monroe is the top player at a 6.393 DUPR. Jack Foster's at a 6 flat. The number 10 player is a 5.347. So that's more than an entire point disparity between Jack Monroe and the 10th ranked player in college. Clear advantage. I texted, so my little brother plays for Michigan. I mentioned this before. I texted Zane. I'm like, so my little brother's going to play Jack Monroe in a DUPR tournament coming up. Like, what can he do to win against Monroe? And Zane just responded, he won't. Like, that's not helpful.
No, listen, for sure. But this is a new program that is growing, right? I mean, if you look at the levels and the players and how it's already grown and gotten closer this last year, it's it's an evolution, right? And it and them helping the growth of the pickleball, it's just gonna help more of these players participate. And again, like having this, we have an Annalie Waters, right? What she's gonna be going to college soon. If she goes to college, why can't she not play professional?
That would be absurd.
It would be great for the pickleball programs, right? And people watching and the growth. And we have to create an inclusive environment where everyone can come and play, school pride represented, and I think this is just gonna make it better and better. And hey, hopefully even make it a scholarship sport in a shorter period of time. Maybe that's what we need to get NCAA to look at this and be like, hey, we need to adopt pickleball, because it's it's the fastest growing sport in the United States, and we have we have stars walking our campuses right now. Why not build a platform for them?
Mm-hmm. Well, to argue against myself, if you look at the top 10 rankings, so Monroe plays at the University of Texas. They're not even in the top 10. So it goes UNC Chapel Hill, University of Virginia, Utah Tech University, Florida Atlantic, Utah Valley, Texas Christian, TCU, Utah State, North Carolina State, Grand Canyon University, which is a random one, and University of Florida. Three Utah teams in there. Not surprising.
Yep.
They love their pickleball.
Yep. Yeah, no, the great, the other amazing thing about this tour is that, there is no Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 NAIA, right? You have programs from you have some massive schools participating, and you have some really tiny schools with great pickleball programs. And we're starting to see some of these college players actually choosing a school based on their pickleball program, which, if you think about it, 2 years ago, that was absolutely unthinkable.
Yeah.
Right. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy to think. I mean, I know that a lot of these clubs too, I mean, it's not like, they're just going to compete here and there. Like they're having practices, uniforms. A lot of them are getting sponsorships. So like it's really starting to get formalized, right? It's not just like a
completely. They have, I love it, because again, the self-organization of these programs is fantastic. These are, they have president, they have treasurer, they have people, social media managers. They're actually creating true teams and groups, and I think this experience is so great for them. They're they're having a budget to be able to go to nationals and see who they can booking the hotels, it's just a great experience for this for the students, and this is not provided to them, right? When I was in college playing tennis, right, I just jumped on a bus for 5 hours, showed up in a random town, played, and went back on the bus. But this is all organized by the college players themselves, which is, again, very unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So and the reason I think this stuff is so interesting is because it's an indicator of growth, and we actually have like real numbers to look at, because, depending on what report you read, it could be 5 million or 40 million players, but to be able to like look at actual data of how many people are competing, where they are, and how these things are growing, I just I find it very interesting. But from a DUPR standpoint, what's on the horizon? Obviously, you guys are the rating system, but what else is there that you're offering? We just talked about the different leagues and competitive programs. But is there anything else that DUPR is building or looking to do in the next few years here?
Yeah, I mean, the main focus right now is to keep getting the algorithm at the place that we want it to be, right? And that's data. We need data consumption, and that's something very important, right? That we always discuss internally. And when people are a little critical about the rating and so on, the most important thing is to be able to be the one platform that has access to every other platform, feeding them match data to be able to get to the maximum level of accuracy, right? I mean, if you have communities that are not well connected or they're only entering one match, right? that DUPR rating is not gonna look accurate to the player. But the more of this, API, the more, now with Pickleball brackets, now with all of this partnership with clubs, what we're getting is everyone in the world sending us match results, so we're able to to give people a sense of where they stand in the pickleball world, and then give them the opportunity to find level-based play within their community. I think that's the ultimate goal for DUPR right here, right? Be the great equalizer, be able to find players at your park and when to play, who to play against, and offer a great experience. In other sports, right? That's the difficult part, right? If I go and play soccer today at one of this, and I feel like my level is not up to par, I feel like everyone is looking at me like, hey, you shouldn't be here. That's an awful experience. With what we're trying to build, and we're building, and our rating, and we have a couple of tools like reliability that is coming up here this month. We're gonna be able to help people find other players, not just play with the same ones each weekend, and also find other players in their community, new friends, new communities to have fun and enjoy the sport that we all love.
Mm-hmm. If somebody creates a DUPR profile from scratch, what's the baseline rating that you have? Like if you have no match data?
So there is no baseline rating. So the way we operate is we start, we need matches. For you need to go and play people, and try to make sure that you're playing people who are rated. So we have that baseline to compare, right? If I go and play you, and both of us or neither of us have a rating, right? The rating is gonna initialize you at a guess. It's gonna give you a 3.5. It's gonna give you a number. And then once you are connected to the community, that number is going to start fluctuating. It's going to start getting closer to your actual level. But the most important thing is to play with people that are in the system, right? Get those matches in, so we are able to compare you to the whole network of players around you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's the lowest rating you could have on DUPR?
Ooh.
2.
Okay. What's the highest? Like, could anybody get to an 8.5 one day?
8 is the highest. 8 is the highest right now. Yes.
2 to 8.
So if you swept everybody 11-0, 11-0 every time, you'd be an 8.
I mean, listen. You have to. Yes. I mean, if you keep winning those matches, everyone, right? And you're proving that you're that far away from the rest of the players in the community. There is a possibility that you get to an 8. But as we know in math and data, right, that's there is the concept of perfection, and it's complex, right? Like to be able to reach an 8 DUPR, there are many factors that have to be happening. You have to be playing with people who are very highly rated and finding those people. So when with the algorithm, it's going to be very tough that we ever see an 8. Usually,
right.
It's gonna trend downwards more than upwards. People are usually, over time, with the more data, we're gonna see DUPRs go down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Kind of answers my next question, but like, what would you? So I think if we go back like 3 years ago, if you were like, oh, I'm a 5.0, you'd be like, oh, you're advanced. I would equate that to like a scratch golfer, right? These days, I think there's way more 5.0s than there used to be. What do you think is like the benchmark for an advanced player? Is it still 5.0?
Yes. I think 5.0 is still the benchmark. It's where you're seeing a lot of the players who are coming in from with a prior racket sports experience. People who are coming from tennis. Usually, that 5.0 level is is where they stay or they maintain, compared to other players who may be taking more serious and try to go pro, right? But yeah, 5.0 is still a great player. It's still like a massive benchmark for any player to get. I mean, I have to say that because I used to be a 5.11 and I'm down to a 4.9. So if I don't say that 5.0s are good, I'm calling myself a very bad pickleball player, which I'm not. So no. I mean, listen. 4.0 is the magic number for a lot of players in the community, right? And it's one of the toughest to get, and it's one of the biggest jumps from 3.5 to 4.0. And then we see a lot of players with overtime, right? They grow through the ranks, and the 5.0 is that truly differentiator between almost like a semi-pro player that can compete and have some great pickleball between who more of a recreational player, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see which rating has the most number of players. Like, are most people 4.2s, right? Or are most people 3.5s? Are most people higher than 4.5? Where is like the critical mass?
Yeah, 3.5. 3.5 is where the critical mass of the population is. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. All right. Zane, you got anything for Tito?
No, I don't have anything else. This is it's cool to hear what you guys are up to. Excited to see more about the Dink Minor Leagues. Obviously, collegiate pickleball being right around the corner is awesome, and just hearing the growth of DUPR in the U.S. and then elsewhere as well is pretty sweet.
Appreciate it, guys. No, it's been a pleasure to be here. The minor leagues are very, very exciting. College is very exciting, and obviously all of these partnerships are key to keep growing the space, right? This is, as you know, the UPA announcement here a couple weeks ago with MLP. I'm sure you saw the DUPR signage on Center Court this weekend at Atlanta, and we're gonna see more and more of those partnerships, and we're very proud of the growth and looking forward to hopefully being able to integrate with the other players in the sport. I think the one thing we can all agree is that DUPR is the rating in pickleball. So we're looking forward to keep growing.
Nice.
I like it. Cool. All right, Tito. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's Pickleball.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,